Welcome to the very first episode of The Game Show. A show with a very bad pun in its name because it's a show about video games, so let's call it The Game Show, I thought. It's a show where we look at video games, critique them, sort of review them, give them first impressions and whatnot. Sort of like a hybrid format, a mix of first impressions and reviews. My name is Viscadace, and the first game we're going to look at in ever is Darksiders Genesis. Darksiders Genesis came out last month, December 2019, early December 2019. This is January 2020. Very late to the show I am, but oh well, better late than never, right? So let's just jump right into it and look at Darksiders Genesis. This is the fourth game in the franchise for Darksiders, a game about the four horsemen of apocalypse and how they're betrayed and how heaven and hell conspire together to bring about the apocalypse early, and now they have to deal with the aftermath. If you're watching this, you're probably already a big fan of Darksiders, like myself. Absolutely love Darksiders 1 and 2. 3, it's okay, could be better. Kind of was boring, but wasn't really an atrocity. It was just boring. Darksiders 4, I was very excited. Hopefully, my excitement wasn't... I wasn't disappointed by Darksiders 4, Darksiders Genesis. The game's pretty fun. A lot of love and effort went into it. I think there are some slight issues with the game. The game's pretty decent, pretty fun, and we'll look into why it is decent and why it is fun. Starting with the options menu for Darksiders Genesis. Options menu got the decent usual stuff. You can change some gameplay options, as you can see, sensitivity and all that good stuff. Has some assist options. You actually have a single/split screen game speed option. The game actually has co-op in it. You can play either online co-op or split screen co-op, or you can just play it single player. All of these options are valid options. There's no wrong choice. The good thing is you can change the game speed, so if you're having issues dealing with the enemies and stuff, accessibility options are pretty useful. You can slow down the game by up to 40%, as the description says. Does not work in online co-op for obvious reasons, because it's going to be difficult. Accessibility options are pretty fun. The game lacks colorblind options. I understand that might be a no-no for a lot of people who have issues with color blindness. Unfortunately, it does not have colorblind options, so too bad. It would have been nice if it did. More accessibility options, but other than that, user interface options are just general stuff, changing font size, playing with other nifty things like enemy health bars and visibility and whatnot. You can change the HUD. You can also modify some parts of the UI, like making things invisible and all that good stuff. Then you got the graphic options. Graphic options are also pretty standard. We got the display mode, resolution, brightness, VSync. Turn VSync off if you're not using FreeSync or G-Sync usually, because it puts in a lot of input lag. I don't like it. Up to your preference though. Then there's the quality options, anti-aliasing, removes jaggies. Texture quality makes everything look just better. Post-processing, shadow quality, and FX quality. The problem is these options are not very detailed. As you can see, if you're a frequent PC gamer, then you probably like messing around with your settings to get the best performance out of your game, but this game doesn't. This clumps everything into one broad category. Like anti-aliasing includes both the type of the anti-aliasing and the strength, and post-processing combines all bloom, ambient occlusion, all that post-processing stuff into one, which is annoying because it means you cannot tweak as much as you could in other games. But the good thing is this is a top-down action RPG. You can't really zoom into stuff, and it's also pretty well optimized and not that taxing on the game on the PC. So on the broader spectrum, on the broader outlook, it doesn't really affect the game that much, but it'd be better if there were more options, as always. Going on to the audio options, you got all the main sliders, and you got options for subtitles, pretty useful. Then you got control options. You can rebind both the keyboard and mouse, and you can also rebind the controller. You'd be better off playing with the gamepad or controller, whatever you want to call it, because the game does have some twin stick elements in it. Basically, Strife has a twin stick mode where you can go up shooting things up, whereas War doesn't, because he has a giant sword and he can't really shoot things. But it is completely playable with keyboard and mouse, so you don't have to go out of the way to get a gamepad if you don't have one. Language, got text language and dialogue language options. I tried out both the English dialogue and the Japanese dialogue. The writing for the game is pretty nice, and the voice acting is also pretty nice. Why Japanese? Because I'm a weeb, so I had to try it out, obviously. And then moving on, let's just jump into the game, look at some of the basics, look at the story and what the game's about and all that stuff. Yep. We're gonna choose the save file in which I beat the game already and unlocked almost all of the stuff, and beat all the extra stuff. Usually I don't always do that, but I kind of got obsessed with the game to a degree, so I ended up finishing all of that. First of all, let's just look at the basic structure of the game. The basic structure of the game is that you have the Void, which acts as a hub world. And in the Void, you can use the central portal to access other chapters. Of course, I've finished the story, so I'll be careful not to spoil anything if that's a concern. Also, I won't be accessing later story levels for obvious reasons, because then I'll spoilers and stuff. And then you also have the arena to, get some extra loot by completing challenges, getting top scores. There are no actual challenges. It's basically beating the top score in the level by beating the crap out of enemies. Mobs gives you rewards. Yep, that's about it, boys. Other than that, the hub world also has our ye old friend Volgrim. Yep, that's Volgrim, the shopkeeper. He sells us keys, shards. The shards, the shards can be used to upgrade your health for both Wrath and Strife. You can use Wrathstone shards to upgrade your Wrath, which kind of like your mana, and Healthstone for obviously the health. You can also get some upgrades for your potions and for your characters. These upgrades include elements for War or ammo for Strife, but we'll get to that. And then there are cores that you can buy from Walgrim, which we will also get to.
I hear you'll be having
other than that, there's also a giant Jester's door in the hub world. So each level in the game's not open world, it's chapter-wise, level-wise, as we could see. And we went to the central portal, and each level has collectibles and also a secret treasure room. And if you unlock each and every treasure room, you can unlock the central treasure room in the hub world, which has a secret boss and more treasure in it. You unlock the treasure room by finding keys. Keys can be bought from Volgrim, some of them, and a lot of them can just be found in the overworld. There's also a new character to the Darksiders franchise. It's Dis, who is like Volgrim's lackey, henchwoman, whatever we call her. She's pretty cool. She sells us upgrades to our abilities for our characters, both more combos and also abilities to some of her upgrades to some of our other abilities. the void also has some secrets, which we will be getting to later. But first, let's just jump into the actual gameplay, shall we? Also, yeah, there's Samael. If you guys have played any Darksiders games in the past, you know who Samael is. The game starts off with us hunting down Samael because we think he's up to no good, but turns out it's actually Lucifer who's up to no good. And then we kind of join hands with Samael to stop Lucifer. That's the premise of our game. So let's just jump right into chapter 1 and see how the game ticks. Game's running on SSD, but the loading times are pretty low, so you don't really have to worry about anything. We're gonna skip the cutscenes. Yep, so the game starts off with Samael's fortress being under attack. If you know Darksiders, you know the lore. So Darksiders Genesis, I should have mentioned before, is actually a prequel to Darksiders 1, where we find out what happened before the events of Darksiders 1 and how things got so messy. That's all I can say. So, combat involves light melee, heavy melee, aerial melee, blocking if you're war, and if you're strife, you got the same heavy light combos, not combos but attacks that you can weave together for different combos, and also you can shoot stuff. Yeah, yep, we can shoot stuff. All right. For those of you who've played other Darksiders games, yeah, shooting stuff is brand new, because before all you could do was be war or fury or death and smash things. Hulk smash. I like doing the aerial ground slam combos with war. They're pretty fun. Other than that, each of your character has some special abilities and all of that stuff, which we'll look into. But for the sake of brevity, let's get moving around. You can ride a horse now. I mean, you always had your horse, but now you can ride it on command. War can just swing his greatsword on his horse, and on Strife's pony, well, he can shoot enhanced bullets. Oh, amazing. Or just melee if he's bored. You can also boost on your horse. That's pretty nice. And on the bottom left, you could see some items that you can use. I've unlocked all of the game's items, so I have more than what you would normally start from. Usually you just start with the ghost hand, and this is the... Wait, how do I... Oh yeah, there you go. Ghost hand. You can use to grab stuff with it. And you have your health potion. The D-pad controls the... You can choose your items at the D-pad. Hitting down makes you drink your health potion, which kind of works like an Estus flask, but not really. Resting doesn't restore them, but you gotta pick it up from enemies or from treasure chests and stuff. You know, typical health potion stuff. Alright, let's just ride my horse. Alright, so this is Summoning Stone. I mentioned co-op with split screen and online before. So using the Summoning Stone, which there's usually one Summoning Stone or more, at least one or more in each level, and you can use Summoning Stones to either access split screen co-op or online co-op, or buy stuff from our friendly neighborhood Walgrim and this. If you have the money, of course. Oh yeah, money. Money involves two currencies, the blue skulls, as you can see on the top right, and boatman coins. I'll get to it eventually. You need both to buy stuff. It kind of overcomplicates things in my opinion, but that's how it is. C'est la vie. Yep. Hey look, it's a treasure chest. Open a treasure chest. Oh look, we got all these blue things. The blue stuff is the main currency. They're just souls. The orange stuff is wrath, which acts like mana in this game. as you can see, I've already found the map for this region. So once you find the map for a region, it marks all the collectibles on the map, and then you can go and pick it up. This is the mini map. Sorry, the map. There is no mini map, and it says that I'm currently at the outpost. And there's the legend, and the map also functions as a journal. So you got the side missions and the missions located on the left. Side missions are side missions, you know, you don't have to actually complete them, but you get some extra loot if you do. But the problem with the map, I should mention early on, is that the map is a very big, annoying pain in the butt. The reason being is that the map does not have a cursor in it, so it doesn't point where you are or which direction you're facing. It can be really annoying. The only way you can use the map is, as you can see on the left side, there's the summoning stone symbol right over here, right? And we were right there. So we just have to like actually mark landmarks and use them as reference to find out where exactly we are. Because of that, we know that we are at the summoning stone. This gets really annoying when you're in a like a bigger area, or when you're like revisiting places to find treasure, and just kind of waste time. I don't understand why they can't just put a cursor in. One explanation might be that they want us to explore every region and find out what lurks in the nooks and crannies, but the thing is, even most secrets are like marked on the map if you get close enough, and as soon as you find the map of the region, everything gets lit up. So yeah, the argument that not having a like cursor encourages exploration doesn't really hold up, because first of all, once you find the map of the region, everything lights up, and secondly, everything's kind of peppered all over the place, so you're gonna have to explore the thing anyways. The other thing with that, speaking of maps and collectibles, is that split screen and online co-op work differently, much differently than single player, of course. In single player you can just swap between characters, but in co-op each player controls either strife or war, and then you can just prompt to swap between the characters if the other player lets you anyways. But the thing is that in online co-op, if you find, say, a collectible, let's just go find a collectible to make the point. The game is very beautiful. I just love the aesthetics. There's so much detail in the background, so much detail in the environments, objects in the environment, even on the character. Speaking of detail, I should also mention that there's no way to zoom in, so you can actually look at your cool characters and the models and whatnot. And also, there's no bestiary. The bosses and the enemies are also pretty cool looking, but there's no bestiary, so you can't zoom in and admire the mobs or your own characters. But again, let's just go find a collectible location. It says there should be something around here. Okay. I hope I find it to make my point. Oh my. See, I don't know where I am. Okay, I'm right over there, and the nearest collectible is up ahead. Alright, let's go. Let's go to the collectible. Let's dash to there. Hopefully we'll find some enemies to fight. Shooty shooty bang bang. You can also, as usual, double jump and stuff. The purple boxes are the ammo boxes for strife. Okay, enemies. Alright, let's kill these things. For strife, you can also choose between different ammos. There's the beam ammo, there's the lightning ammo, there's some lava ammo. Yep, there you go. Each is own. You unlock the ammo types as you progress through the story, or by buying them from the shop if you have enough resources. You can double jump, you can glide, all that good stuff, the usuals. Alright, going back to the co-op issue. The co-op issue is that you see this ghosty coin. This is a pickup that collectible that I've already collected before. The problem with the split screen and local co-op is the problem with co-op, online co-op specifically, is that if I collect this coin while I'm playing with my friend doesn't get it, so they have to go and collect it as well. So if you're playing together and you decide to split up and each player collects their share of collectibles, the other player does not on an online co-op, which means you have to backtrack, your friend or you have to backtrack and collect the coins, the upgrades, the health or mana upgrades or whatever that the other players collected on a different part of the map. It just wastes time, and I don't know why it's like that. It's just very annoying and causes a lot of backtracking. Surprisingly, if you're on split screen co-op, it's not how it works. If one player picks up an upgrade, everybody gets it. Both of them get it, unlike an online co-op. So even the split screen co-op means smaller screens. I was having more fun playing split screen co-op with my younger brother than I was having playing online co-op with a friend of mine. Because backtracking, that's my those are two of my main gripes. First with the map, no cursor, hello, and also with the fact that collectibles and co-op need to be collected by both parties if it's online co-op. Alright, combat. Sorry for the small rant there, but moving on to combat. I'll explain what those giant purple orbs are as well, but first look at combat. Combat, basic stuff. Heavy, light, chain together, leave them together for different types of combos. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can also have aerial attacks. Nice. If only there were more enemies. You can also have special abilities. If you hold LB, you gotta dial for some special abilities that each character has. Strife can leave shadow clones behind him. Pretend that he's Naruto for a second. Be a super duper ninja man. He can also be a weeb and do a Kamehameha. If only there's an enemy I can use that on. Let's climb up and Kamehameha that fool. Yep, hello fool. I'm gonna Kamehameha you as soon as I get up there. Okay, dodge that. Ooh, I really love the animations on this game and the sound effects. Like, look at that. That's a pretty cool looking ability. And he can also throw caltrips. Caltrips. If someone walks over them, they explode. They also drop health packs if you upgrade them, so that's cool. This is what a map looks like. Pick that up and you unlock all the collectibles on the map. I already picked it up because this is my second time coming through this, or this third time, I don't know. I already finished this level, so I already have the map, but if you didn't, everything would light up if you picked it up. Oh yeah, that thing lets you just glide through. It's just a air current. Yep, and for War, his special abilities are he can go kaboom, he can either dash like that, or he can have stone skin that also, if you upgrade it, lights itself on fire, so you hurt things that are around you, sort of like Sunfire Cape from League of Legends. Yes, while only Strife has guns and only he can shoot, War can't, but instead War has the block ability. He can just be a tanky man that he always wanted to be. So much cooler, right, than shooting stuff. It looks like, on first glance it feels like War is more boring than Strife, but I'd say War is equally, or if not more interesting, because he has more melee combos, and also who wouldn't want to just block everything on his way. Early game block is not that useful, but once you upgrade it a bit, it becomes a perfect block. That is, you can block all damage coming your way, and also you can parry if you block on time. Strife can just, on the other hand, just shoot stuff. Each character can also dash, which I kind of forgot. And while Strife over here can choose between different ammos. Ooh, look, beams, as I mentioned. War instead can choose between different elements. He can be vampiric. If I hold W, he will do his special elemental attack. I'll hold the heavy button to do the elemental attack. He can also spin like a Beyblade if I choose fire. Beyblade, let it rip. Yep. Or he can be a Zappy Pikachu with the electric mode. War is more fun for meleeing, and obviously Strife is more fun for ranged combat. The other thing that Strife can do is that Strife has this mechanic wherein if you fight something, you can't summon your horses if there's a giant no horse symbol on the floor like that. But if you shoot something long enough... Okay, that was just one enemy. Let's open that chest. Health and ammo. Great. Yep, okay, more enemies. I was hoping there'd be more enemies.
A simple warm-up.
Yeah. But if you oh man, come on. If you shoot something long enough, War goes on, sorry, Strife goes on focus mode. Oh man. I was trying to show the hot streak mechanic, but I've kind of failed. I'll just open this door. Oh look, more enemies. That's nice. Great. That's not nice because they all died because this is level 1 and I'm upgraded. Oh my. Like, look, more enemies. Let's see. So if I shoot enough enemies, hot streak mode triggers, wherein my basic shooting abilities are enhanced. So if it's basic attack, I'll become a machine gun. Let's see. Come on, man. Come on. Yep, see? Or my other abilities are also enhanced. I love the laser when it goes hot streak. And you unlock hot streak, but activate hot streak by just shooting for a small period of time. If you shoot enough, you go Super Saiyan temporarily and shoot faster and stuff for a small period of time. Mechanically speaking, the game is pretty fun. Combat-wise, it's very, very polished. Now that we beat that, let's move forward. The game also has a lot of platforming elements peppered in. See, I can't, like, please put the cursor. Why remove the map cursor? I can't tell where I am. But I think I'm somewhere over here, north up there. Which means we have to head this way. But it gets really confusing, folks, without the map cursor. Let's just glide and then go across over there.
Well, yeah, just like that.
On first glance, as I said, War looks more boring than Strife because Strife has 2 guns and War doesn't have guns. So he has like 0 range potential. Hey, look, I can shoot lasers. Can you shoot lasers? Nope. But the thing is, War can ground slam, and Strife can't, and that can actually be. You open that once you beat the local mobs, but that's actually an issue. The thing is, a lot of the basic abilities are actually locked behind, some of the crucial basic abilities are actually locked behind progression. For example, initially, Strife doesn't even have any aerial like heavy attack.
If he's still alive.
Okay, I just randomly died. Fine, interesting. That there's some tiny weird glitches going around in the game at times, but as I was saying, so Strife initially doesn't have any aerial recovery. Like for War, he can like actually fight in air, then he can come down and keep fighting. but Strife is not like that. If you go melee with Strife, it kind of feels bad, man. As you can see, there's no ground slam, so you can't actually continue your attacks. Initially, all you can do is like fight in the air and like an idiot just drop down. And later you can like dash down, but the dash doesn't do anything. On the other hand, War has so many dashes. He can ground slam, he can do that, whatever that is, Beyblade to the ground, or he can punch his way down and then continue the combo, continue the annihilation and destruction. So it'd be nice if War Strife had better melee, like not just the aerial recovery to like come down faster and continue his aerial combos like a ground slam, but also maybe more melee combos, because Strife's melee feels bad, man. I understand he, you know, does this shooty bang bang, but it'd be better if he could also melee a lot. Oh well, that's just me. But that is an actual issue though. I hope I can show ultimate forms right now, but if not, I'll just show them in the arena. Basically, other than these abilities that we've just seen, that is the special abilities like that, and also the basic combos and stuff. Each character also has two specials, not special, but two sort of like ultimates, an ultimate assist ability and an actual ultimate transformation, so they can transform into their final forms like these giant demon monsters of Rampage, or they can also just do a weird ultimate attack to assist each other if you're playing in co-op, or you know, just assist yourself if you're playing solo. Right, I'm sorry, it just gets so confusing to understand like which direction you're going. The game also has a lot of platforming, and sometimes things like grabbing ledges and stuff don't register, so you'll fall down and die. Sometimes you'll also just fall down the ground and die because your animation glitches out. This is just a side mission, shooting ballistas and whatnot. Come on, just skip it, please skip it. We got stuff to do. Okay, good for you, imps. We're not gonna deal with that. Wrong way. But one of the most common bugs I've noticed is that when you're riding your horse and when you get off the horse actually disappears into the ground. But sometimes you don't get off the horse will take you in underground with it and you will die, which is hilarious and doesn't happen that often. It's very rare, but when it does, you die and you come back with I mean, you don't really die because all it does is like take you a small chunk of your HP, but it's funny. It's pretty funny, and it's a silly little bug. And you probably saw these giant purple orbs. I'll probably explain the purple orbs when we actually run into them. I'm just trying to find a way to progress through the mission because I just wanted to finish the first level as an example, as a trial for the game. Yeah, basically every level you have some platforming / puzzle elements that you gotta complete, enemies to slay, and a lot of confusion from the fact that there's no cursor on the map. I guess if anything, please put cursors on maps. That's the point to be learned from this video, I guess. Okay. I think we can. Yeah, we're on the right track. Fine. Let's just kill those. Other than the discussed basic combat abilities and stuff, as well as enchantments and ammo types that I've shown, there's also a bit more to the game's mechanics. There's a passive skill tree, sort of like Path of Exile. that you can work on throughout the course of the game to gain passives and sort of make yourself more powerful. But I need I think that is a chest that drops purple orbs, so once we pick it up I think I can explain what purple orbs do.
You are one, but we are many.
Yeah, sure. If not, I'll just explain it. So over here we got ourselves some puzzle to deal with. Oops, see, I did press the button, but I couldn't register it. Oh well, this is a speed puzzle. Trigger that, unlock the ledges, double jump, grab that with our ghosty hand, grab those ledges, get over, and we're on the other side. Yes, I know how to switch characters, game. Thank you very much. Oh no, now we have to deal with these bad boys.
Destroy it all.
There's a huge enemy variety in this game. Sometimes the enemies are reused and then just recolors of the previous existing enemies, but a lot of instances they're actually pretty different. And also they have their own unique combos. If only I can show that to you. They have their own unique attacks, and also each enemy has this execute. If they're low enough, you can just execute them instead of like killing them. And both Strife and War have different animations for each enemy. So they put a lot of effort into the game. And they're pretty well made animations. Alright, let's be purple orbs. Oh no, they're not purple orbs. There's just a health chest. Oh well, I'll just explain the orbs. So if you go to the creature course, when you kill a creature, there's a chance that they will drop these purple orbs down, or an orange orb if it's a legendary or an elite enemy. And what they do is that if you guys have ever played Path of Exile or anything like that, you'll know this probably feels similar to that. This is like a passive skill tree, which is pretty similar to how Path of Exile works, and each slot comes empty, and you can choose an empty slot and equip a given orb into it. Each enemy drops a different orb. All the enemies drop an orb. Basically they have their own orb, and each one has a special passive. Like this one over here increases Strife's hot streak bullet count. That's basically the enhanced mode that Strife gets after shooting for a while by 20%. Increases War's tremor gauntlet damage by 10%. It does both. Or one of my favorites, War can block 100% more and increases Strife's attack power and wrath power by 10%. Wrath power is just damage that you do from your abilities. This is pretty good. Basically makes all of War's blocks block all the damage, so it's pretty useful. So this way you can like and further enhance your abilities and gain some pretty useful passives. Some of them, I mean most of them, are just these weird stat sticks, like 12% more damage, or 5% more damage, or 1% more attack power. But some of them can be pretty useful, like again the Dreadwalker one that I just showed, or this is again another one of my favorites for the Grinner, which is an elite slash boss enemy, wherein like if you have this equipped, you can actually the number of clones that Strife leaves behind when he uses his ability actually go up, which is pretty useful. And also War's Blade Geezer, which is this ability where he just slams down and causes like blades to erupt from the ground, also heals him. So this is I really like this system. It really does add a lot of tunability and customizability to the game. And the way it works is that the more orbs you collect for each creature, over here you can see 20 out of 20 on the right, the power of the orb goes up. So the way it works is that if you have 20 of the orbs, it's max rank at level 3, but if you have half of that, it would be in the middle, so level 2. So you don't have to collect like too many orbs to upgrade each of the passive skills, because it's kind of confusing, because you might think that it's 20 each time you want to level it up, but the way it works is that 20 to level it up max. And you can get these orbs either by just killing mobs or by buying them from the shop, except the legendary ones, which are basically boss ones, which you need to get from fighting bosses, because most of the chests don't drop these. Some of them do, but most of them don't drop them. But the boss thing is much easier, just to get 3. You don't need 20 of a boss orb to upgrade it, just 3 to max upgrade it. These ones, like, they also, like, again, they improve your skills and stuff. And the way that part works is that each empty slot has a symbol on it. Like, this one's a wild symbol, and if you match the symbol on the empty slot, which can be either attack, health, or wrath, with the orb, you get a bonus. For example, I think this one is an attack slot, and if I put an attack orb in the attack slot, I get bonuses. I get more damage. My stats go up. And as you can see, there's also like these tiny circles underneath the giant orb. They indicate the level of the orb. So if you put, like, this is a level 3 slot, if I put a level 3 orb in a level 3 slot, its max potential is unlocked. But in this case, for example, if I put a level 3 orb over here into a level 1 slot, which you can tell from only one circle at the bottom of the orb slot, or you can tell that there's one under, it says minor creature core slot at the bottom, then you only get its level 1 abilities. The wild slots are different, as in, like, as long as anything matches, you get the bonus for your stats, as you can see at the bottom. And if you take one of the central cores, everything goes off, all the lights go off, so don't do that. And if you complete your abyssal armor, which is the ultimate armor in the game, that's the only armor in the game, you get bonus slots to further improve your creature cores. It looks grindy, but it's not really. The creature cores are pretty easy to gain, especially once you get the arena. It doesn't take a lot, and like I didn't really go after them. I just went after some of the boss orbs, like the one with the extra shadow clones and stuff, which meant going and fighting the boss once or twice. But other than that, the game's not really grindy. But the game is confusing and where you want to go. The game also has some Metroidvania-esque elements, wherein, like, some places might be blocked off until you get a further ability to unlock that. Oh my, I'm stuck on boxes. Yeah, but there's the Metroidvania elements where some parts of the map can be blocked off until you gain an ability to, like, break an unbreakable wall, or, like, teleport or whatever. Just as a random example, in order to gain that upgrade on the other side, which is fine, but kind of leads to a lot of backtracking, because even some of the early levels have these slots and they don't really serve any the Metroidvania elements don't really serve any story function. You won't be returning to a chapter for story reasons. The only reason you'll be returning to a region would be because you want something in it, or you want to just goof around like what I'm doing right now.
Samael certainly knows how to make an impression.
So I kind of don't like the Metroidvania elements in it. It'd be better if
Why not ask the Lord of Blackstone?
The blocked off areas were later on after you get the upgrade, so it avoids backtracking. But yeah, I'm pretty powerful. It usually takes a bit more, and this is in hard mode. So don't worry, the game ain't that easy. Just a side effect of finishing it already. But yeah, there's like a shit ton of collectibles in the game, and I combine that with again the Metroidvania elements. It does become a bit like tedious with all the backtracking that you might have to do if you're like some kind of obsessed 100%er, sort of like how I am. But yeah, okay, there should be a key right over here. Oopsie, oh no, I fell down. But there's a key over there. There's a shadow of the key that you can probably see. It might be a bit difficult to see, but that's a gesture key right up over there on the corner. You can use those keys to unlock the treasure rooms. And I forget where the treasure room is on this level, but that's what you do with it. Alright, I just want to make it to the boss for this region to show you like how bosses work in this game. Again, the map not having cursor is sort of screwing me over here. Ah, a good place to like show you what the dialogue for this game looks like.
Moloch, he doesn't have the muscle, but this smells like him. Question is, why?
Hell is a pit of vipers. Do demon lords need a reason to wage war with one another?
Guess not, but someone got bold.
They will provide entertainment on our way to Samael.
You better have something interesting to tell us, or the council is going to be pissed.
If we don't keep moving, we'll be questioning a corpse. This assault is fierce.
Hurrying for his sake? How annoying.
Yeah, so as I said, the writing is pretty decent and the voice acting is on point. I think they have the same voice actors from the previous games, so obviously there's some good professionals, so all that stuff is nice. Look into their summoning stone in case you want to engage in co-op play, which we're not gonna do right now because it's a bit difficult. It works though, there are no issues with co-op. It works all smooth and well. I prefer split screen over
Ever consider wearing some lighter gear?
online just because less backtracking. Probably I should address the other issue with this game. It's the platforming. The game is very reliant on platforming. There are a lot of platforming elements. The problem is sometimes the controls can be clunky, but that's not the real issue. The real issue is just that it kind of gets tedious. I'd rather just be fighting stuff. It's supposed to be more of a hack and slash game. I think even because most of the platforming isn't really challenging, it's just basic go from A to B. Oh look, it's a purple orb that I was talking about. Pick it up. It's already maxed out, so don't worry. But most of these puzzles and platform elements, they don't really require a lot of thinking. They're just basic stuff. Feel like they're padding. I would rather do without them, or maybe make them even simpler at that point, because I'd rather just be fighting enemies rather than dealing with that. Because sometimes the game just feels like there aren't that many enemies, unless you're in the arena and there are like just constant streams of enemies, or later in the game when you have to deal with a shit ton of enemies. I prefer Sword of War over Strife because playing War, his ground slams are pretty powerful, so I can just keep ground slamming enemies. My favorite combo is just going lightning and then just slam, look, more orbs, slam, and execute. Break that open and let's, okay, one more before we have let's just keep slamming. Just keep slamming. Alright. This is more of a co-op door. If it was co-op, if I was playing co-op, then it would require both players to open the door together. But we were not playing co-op, so it makes it easier. Slam. Slamming just makes the game more fun. Okay, so I can use one of my ultimates. This is supposed to be an assist attack. You just hold LB and A, and you use your ultimate. I guess it's not charged up. Oh well. That's our boss, boys. Hey, look, I can actually use my hot streak. Hot streak's pretty fun, pretty useful. Makes Strife way more fun. I'm pretty powerful, so it's not gonna take too long. My favorite element for Strife is actually electricity. I can just zap stuff. Yep, just Pikachu'd it. As you can see, that dropped the yellow orb. Already maxed it out. Now I can, if I didn't have any orbs, I could have just like used that core / orb, put that in a slot somewhere, and gotten the bonus for matching the type as well as the passive from it. It's pretty similar to Path, so I mean, I can't assume that everybody plays Path, but yeah, this is not to worry about. Not really grinding, just a fun little mechanic on the side. And that is basically the first boss. Alright, let's just head down now that that part is done. Playing the elevator music. So that's basically the gist of Darksiders Genesis. You just spend the whole game doing that for a good 20 to 30 hours, considering the game is around $30 US, which is half the price of a AAA game. This is a lot of content. And I even showed you the arena, which is, we're almost at the end of the video. And the arena adds more content, sort of, to the game, but, you know, together with the arena modes, the story mode, and all that jazz, the game is roughly 30 hours, so there's a decent amount of content in the game, and the game's pretty cheap, and for what it offers, it's pretty good. I mean, what other game can you like do this, you know, just run in circles, go merry, oops, oh, those are my gravity orbs. Those are all the different types of ammos I can use. I can use green poison shotgun ammo shells that make people bleed health orbs. Electricity. Oh, this is, I'm done with electricity. Gravity orbs. Lava shots. Beam shots. Charge shots and standard shots. Or if I'm playing War, I can do Vortex, which makes me the airbender. And Earth does quakes, makes me a Beyblade with fire, and that touch puts a dot on marks all of the enemies, and they explode when they die, basically, when you use that touch. And Vampire just gives me lifesteal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
That potential can only lead to our boy Sam I am. Sneaky.
And that is the first chapter. And once you finish the level, it'll take us back to the hub world.
Sent us here for a reason.
Okay. I mean, this is the first chapter, so you're supposed to be making your way to the void. Or let's just make it to the void. Come on. Look, the summoning stone. We're almost there. Almost at the void. Almost there. Oh yeah. The Whirlpool blade. Actually, this is a very show where I can show you the puzzles that War can solve. He can hit switches with his blade. He can target them. I mean, alright. I guess it's already triggered. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be unlocking the warp blade through there. Come on, man. Give me the warp blade. Yeah, those things hold artifacts and upgrades. Certain upgrades. I already had the Warple Blade, so it just gave me more.
This is why we're here. You knew we'd need it.
Orbs instead. And now I can just hit that there. Open the door.
If you're done showing off, Samael's associate awaits.
You can also target with left trigger and then shoot to activate levers and buttons and all that jazz. And also, yeah, this is like one of the main central puzzles that you'll find throughout the game. These fire puzzles, and it basically involves targeting a lit fire, and then these unlit torches, and then you shoot your Vorpal Blade, and lighting all torches will lead you to open doors. You'll also find a lot of secrets that I forgot to mention, but then again, we didn't encounter that before. I think we did.
Serpent hole.
You're familiar with these?
Oh yeah, the central portals are called serpent holes.
Is it up?
Yay, chapter 1 is complete. Now we can go back to the void. Yep. So this is this, my friends, is Darksiders Genesis. There's also the arena mode. Basically, it's nothing really that different from story. I mean, it is different. Just a small area, and then you fight a shit ton of different enemies, wave after wave after wave, and you know, depending upon what score you get from how many enemies you defeated, you get rewards. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know, typical stuff. I don't think I'll have to actually go to the arena mode and show you that, but that's basically it. But there is something I do want to show you though. The void actually has some secrets hidden in it. Okay, let's see. That you can find by exploring around like a mindless fool, which I was doing, and then I found some interesting things. I found some doggos in the void. And there's some other stuff too that gives you some fancy rewards. Look, these are sleeping doggos, and if you pet them in the right order, you get boatman coins, which are, again, one of the 2 currencies in the game that you need to buy upgrades with. Some very detailed animation. It's pretty funny, actually. If you're playing, if you pet with Strife, he actually gives a nice rubbing, and then probably looks like he's like giving a kiss on the dog's forehead, which is pretty cute. Too bad you can't zoom in to look at this. They put a lot of detail into this game, a lot of detail. And if yours is War, you can okay, this is actually the bad dog to pet. Bad dog. I mean, no dog is a bad dog to pet, but I should have pet a different dog, just so that you guys can see. He checks that no one's watching him, and then he just taps it on the head. It's pretty cute, and if you pet them in the right order, you get the reward. So if you do get the game, you should go check that out. It's right in the void. It's on the left once you enter the secret area. But yeah, this is Darksiders Genesis. Sorry, 4th in the franchise, made by Airship Syndicate and published by THQ Nordic. Great game. The video, I think, took long. Like, it not only took longer to put out than I thought it was, but I think it also ended up being longer than I expected it would. But yeah, it has some minor issues, some tiny bugs. Sometimes you fall off the world, as I think you saw once through the entirety of the video. But other than that, relatively bug-free, performs pretty well, frame rate solid, it never dropped below 60. I'm playing on 2K, and I usually get about 80 FPS, usually 70 to 80 FPS about, so that's pretty good performance-wise. Bug-free, as I said again. Lot of detail, very detailed animation, very detailed textures, very detailed special abilities. Like, look at that. Oh, yeah, or actually, I should be more like, look at that. Kamehameha. Very fun game, very good game. They put a lot of effort in making it. Of course, as I said, there are some major gripes. The map not having a cursor to like find where you are, to locate where you are, is very annoying. The extra backtracking on online co-op is stupid. It shouldn't be there. I don't know why it's there. It just makes things annoying again. Some of the basic skills are actually stuff that you have to buy from the shopkeeper, which is like annoying because the early game is pretty slow. It takes like a good hour or two even. I think it probably takes about 2 hours to like finish all the tutorials and get all your basic abilities and ultimates in. I didn't have a chance to show you guys the ultimate. You basically turn into a giant cool ass demon. Both Strife and War have it. It's pretty fun, but like things like that are actually stuff that you have to buy, which kind of gets annoying, which means that the game's slightly slower initially, but things pick up rapidly from chapter 4, I believe, or chapter 3. Other than that, yeah, the fact that Strife doesn't have any aerial combos, and that his melee combos are kind of boring, is unfortunate, but you know, minor gripes. Like, the game really doesn't have any major gripes to it. It doesn't do anything amazing and or brand new, but it just brings in all these other game mechanics, like from action RPGs and twin stick shooters all together in this nice package. And for $30, it's a pretty good damn deal. I wish there was a map cursor, there was a bestiary. You look at all these pretty models for enemies and your allies, and I wish the game was sooner. I don't think it needs that many. You don't need 2 or 3 hours to finish initial tutorials and get your basic abilities. I think it'd be more fun if the game just threw you into the combat much sooner. Also, the online co-op thing, the extra backtracking, like, you don't have to have both the players collect the collectibles. As long as one of them gets it, everybody should be able to have it. While I wasn't able to show the Metroidvania elements, where the unlocks, basically, for example, if you're playing War, the Tremor Gauntlet can break unbreakable walls that have hidden stuff behind them. Again, the Metroidvania elements are kind of fun and good for the people who want 100% the game, but also causes more backtracking. I guess I am repeating myself, but the weird thing with the minimap, the extra backtracking and the slow start, and also sort of boring combos for War or Strife are the main issues with the game. I know they sound kind of nitpicky and pedantic, but those are the central issues with the game. And other than that, the game is pretty fun, and it's pretty cool, especially if you're a Darksiders Darksiders fan. This is way better than Darksiders 3, and I do recommend it, especially at $30-ish. So yeah, you can't really go wrong with it. This is not like a big time masterpiece, like something like Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077, or even an indie masterpiece like Undertale or something like that. But this is a very rock solid, highly recommended, fun little game that you can play both with co-op and single player. I think this is a very fun co-op game, especially. I did play some co-op with my buddies, both online and both split screen with my brother, and they were both fantastic experiences. So overall, to just conclude, I would say this is a very fun game. For the above-mentioned reasons, I wish the annoying parts didn't exist, and they can be easily fixed, I think, with a patch or something like that. I don't expect the developers to go back and like do that though, but it'd be nice if they did, you know, put in a cursor so that you can find yourself on the mini map. Make it so that backtracking is not an issue when you're playing online co-op, and also just cue my boy's breath a ground slam, please. Can I ground slam? That's it. Thank you for watching. This was the first episode for Game Show, and leave suggestions and thoughts in the description, in the comment section. I'm sorry, it's 2 a.m. and I'm a bit tired. Yeah, leave thoughts and comments in the comment section, obviously. I'll put some timestamps in the description, and please look forward for the next video, maybe, if you haven't well, had an aneurysm from this. Well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.